Zerline set to get us started here, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Hurts throwing right away. That's swung out wide to Harris. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
A part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Play action. It's Wilson. Open man is Uzomah. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
They'll give to Hall. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Throwing is Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun, it's Hurts.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Quentin Williams in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Now Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
They go play action now. Wilson. He rifles complete. Caught by Moore. Touchdown, Jets.
Elijah Moore
with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year.
And the Jets put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Zuerlein good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The sack recorded, it's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They go play action with Hurts. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he's brought down. And between the last two plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Steelers are an extra point away from drawing level.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And this will be a return from deep in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
The Jets at 10-5 to start play. Charles, they were losers last time. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Hall has it knocked loose.
And it's picked up by the Steelers. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this, and it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Carl Lawson in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the 1st down sack.
Hurts. That's complete to his tight end Freiermuth.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Taken in at the 22. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt.
And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. That pass complete to Moore. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protecting.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Steelers. The 20. So the turnover forced and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On second down, this is Harris. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short on the goal line. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Jalen Hurts with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Austin. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
They go play action with Wilson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That gain on third down, good for 28. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Again, Wilson. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Give to Hall running right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here we go.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Wilson now to throw on third down. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Elijah Moore with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Jets are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Hurts sets up to throw it. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Hurts got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 31-yard line. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now a give, running left is Harris. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. On 2nd and 15 now. Hurts. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now it's Wilson. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Play action. Now Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. So the completion good for just 3. And it's 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something to be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. To throw is Wilson. is caught. It's Uzomah. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Wilson. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Wilson on the keeper. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Zach Wilson keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Jets have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling has been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. A solid stiff arm. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
It cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You called that pick in early, and it shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. On 2nd down, a run with Carter. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown.
Now on the return. Oh, no, the ball is loose. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. And that one is his 2nd fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team,
and he loses the football the 2nd time. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
Paul want to give up the middle.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. As he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Touchdown!
Elijah Moore.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jets look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
A nice looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. That's swung out wide to Harris.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Carl Lawson, his 2nd sack of the night.
Somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big 2nd half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the 2nd half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Jets,
they get an important win here to move to 11-5 on the year.
Yeah.